Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Hello, Empowered fam. Today's episode is going to look a little different than anything I've ever offered before. And I'm actually pulling a clip from my 21-day manifesting program. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I have decided to relaunch this offering as of February 5th. That is a Monday. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this offering when I first created it. Initially, I thought it was just going to be a great way to start the new year. But honestly, I have been seeing and feeling that so many people were just not ready to jump into the new year, new me vibe on the 1st of January, and that people are slowly starting to roll into feeling ready for February and March. And so I've decided to relaunch this offering. And I wanted to just pull a clip from that experience so you can get just the teeniest, tiniest taste of the kind of content that you're going to get inside of the 21-day manifesting program. As you're hearing this, the doors are open for pre-sale, so you can join in now. But again, this program will be going live. That 21-day manifesting program will start for you on Monday, February 5th. What can you expect out of that container is every single day, content will drip at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it can fit perfectly into your schedule. No matter how busy you are going to have that content first thing in the morning, and you can implement it throughout the day whenever you feel called. And it is going to give you all of the steps and the knowledge and the limiting belief blasting and the guided meditations and all of just the tools, everything you need to know and how to utilize the laws of the universe and really focusing on the inner work that needs to be done in order to manifest. Manifesting is not which like the 369 method and that method and that method, like which is best. No, it's about doing the work so that you raise your frequency and vibration so that you become an energetic match to the things that you desire. And that is done by raising the emotion, like your base emotional level. And that is done by doing the healing work. And so that's what this 21-day manifesting program is. It's the work, it's the knowledge. It is also the tools that are just like sprinkles on top and mastering all the universal laws. So it is such a potent and powerful program. And then you can also expect 4 live coaching. It's going to be like a mastermind coaching call, a check-in call, whatever you need to have that one-on-one coaching aspect at an extremely affordable price. Now that I've gone through this program once, I think it is absolutely insane the price point that I'm offering this program for, but it is truly my desire to help as many people as I can. And so I'm going to always keep this offering at a lower price. If I do ever do it again, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do it again, but I also know that if you listen to my psychic view of my 2024, I am shutting down a little bit here. Like I am going to be turning down the heat as far as how present I am and how offerings are being put out. I will still always be here for my coaching and mentorship clients, but my focus is on going within for myself and being with my family. So this is probably going to be the last time that I live launch this program anytime in the near future. So if you're hearing this, this is your sign to jump in today. Okay, enjoy today's episode and just take in this tasty treat of what you can expect when you join us in the 21-day manifesting program. Have an amazing, beautiful day. Okay, so day 11, this is all about facing your fears. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. This was actually said by Jack Canfield, who is the author of Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul. And Eleanor Roosevelt also used to say, you gain strength, courage, and confidence in every incident you start looking fear in the face. Okay, so fear. Fear is at the root of everything that holds us back from living up to our full potential. The crazy part is we are not even born with fear. Like when you think of babies, they just know that everything's going to be all right. They don't question when their next meal is going to happen. They don't question if their diaper is going to be changed. They just exist and everything gets taken care of them. Fear is taken care of for them. Fear is actually a learned impulse that holds us within our limitations and keeps us from fulfilling our life's purpose. Everyone feels fear throughout many, many, many times within our lives, especially when we begin to transform and we join this transformation journey. Fear is a part of every transformation you consider doing and actually do. You must decide to conquer them and face your fears every time they come up, time and time again. It's always there, whether we realize it or not. When it comes to growth, expansion, and transformation, it is literally always there. If you were to articulate it, that might look like thoughts of, how could I ever do that? What would people think of me? I could never afford that. Or even silently just self sabotaging yourself through thoughts and behaviors based on your current level of subconscious programming that you are not even aware of. Silently or not, it is happening. Fear is one of the biggest barriers that people have in life. Every single person who wants more finances, more in relationships, more in their career. We are not there yet simply because fear plays such a dramatic role in the transformation process. When fear is present, it becomes a huge obstacle for clarity to come through, creating a roadblock to deciding what you truly desire out of life and your ability to be open to receive that divine guidance that is trying to come through to you, to all of us. So let's talk about neutrality for a moment. Many people who have become very successful have stated that in order to create their success, every decision they made to get them there came from a place of having the mindset, I have nothing to lose. If you act as if from this space of having nothing to lose, the neutrality of this energy makes for no energetic resistance between you and the manifestation that you are desiring. And surrender. This is the energy of surrendering to the process and the unknown. This looks a lot like giving up, but it is not. It is actually the complete opposite of that. It is the mere determination to be willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen, knowing that no matter what comes my way, I will overcome it. That is how I have gotten to this point in my career and what I will continue to do so moving forward, because this is an amazing mindset place to be in. But realistically, most people do not start here. So let's look at the keys to gain success in whatever you desire, even if and when you are scared, even when fear is present. Because here's the truth, no matter what, we cannot completely eradicate fear. The way our brains are wired, it is an unavoidable physical and chemical reaction. But the way to take control of this is to identify and address our fears. This is where we will be able to find the clarity. And with this clarity, you will be able to transform. So let's get a little nerdy here for a minute. I love sciencey stuff. According to brain researchers, fear is a byproduct of some of the most primal, or another way to say it is the old regions of our brain where our instincts actually exist. They evolved much earlier than the cerebral cortex, which is the part of us that it's the part of our brain that allows us to be rational. Fear is based in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind controls the reactions in our body. We've heard that before, right? And our rationale controls none of that. So think of late at night when you hear a noise in your bed, and this noise is heard and received and processed by your brain in the amygdala. Sometimes the amygdala is actually known as the guard dog of the brain. And your amygdala then makes a split-second decision on if this noise is a threat. And when that thought occurs, a cascade of neurochemical and physical reactions are triggered much faster than the conscious thought, immediately activating your body's fight or flight response. And this begins to activate our central nervous system. You know the symptoms. The heart starts beating faster, blood is flooding through your muscles, the hair on your body stands up, the body begins to sweat, your breathing becomes faster. All of these are physical reactions to what? A thought. Remember that what we've learned, our body is an instrument of the subconscious mind. This is how and why our thoughts, involuntary or not, can control our body and the outcome. Way back in the day, this was used to help our ancestors to survive and to stay alive long enough to reproduce, because that's what we are all wired to do. And we've inherited this highly attuned survival response from our ancestors. But now it is our job to learn how to adapt this to our present environment, which is very, very different from this one from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So circling back. So this is how fear works. It is an automatic response to a perceived threat. It is wired into our brains. The key word here is perceived. What does the subconscious mind not know? I've said this a million times before now. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So it is very important to know that your fear, while the reaction is very real, is not necessarily based on something that is actually real. For example, a bear in the forest. If you are running from a bear in the forest, then yes, that fear is very real. And that fear or flight response within your body is very much necessary for you to survive. However, it is pretty dang unlikely that you are going to be chased by a bear in the forest in this lifetime. Therefore, it's not helping us in this scenario, right? So the reality is there is not a threat of dying when it comes to transformation and growth, even though our bodies perceive it as such. We are not in mortal danger evolving from taking this program. We are not in mortal danger speaking in front of an audience. We are not in mortal danger showing up online as our authentic self. We are not in mortal danger launching the business. Not in mortal danger investing in coaching. Not in mortal danger asking someone on a date, drawing a necessary boundary, asking for the raise, or handing in your 2 weeks notice. You get the point. Even though 90% of humans feel as though they are in mortal danger when they are experiencing these situations. There is not a threat of mortal danger, but their emotional perceived threat of danger is very real. These are our fears these days. And this is because most people were never taught to acknowledge and how to deal with their emotions properly from an early age. So, list of threats. So, when the true fear of mortal danger does not exist, our subconscious mind will create other things to be fearful of, to hold us in quote unquote safety, the box of what we know in order to quote unquote survive. Here's a list of those perceived threats, which fire up our human brain chemistry, activating the fear response. What if people laugh at me? What if I lose all of my money? What if they say no? What if I fail? What if I disappoint them? These represent no physical threat, but they do elicit huge emotional perceived threats to our subconscious minds. The idea of transformation comes with these feelings that have been made a part of us from the way we were raised and what we've seen around us in the first 7 years of life. Because remember, the first 7 years of our life, we were a literal sponge. Everything we were told by the people raising us and the people around us, we just took as truth. Based on this, one of the biggest subconscious fears that we have to face is the fear of change. And that low self-image paradigm must be deactivated, as many people are resisting change by thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not lovable enough, I'm not this, that, or whatever enough, therefore leading to I might fail. The truth is, at the bottom of your fears of change and transformation, it's all just a story. It may be your story, but it could also be someone else's story that impressed that upon you. Of course, it is scary to make the leap because it's unknown. You haven't been here before. Remember, the things that got you to this point are not going to get you to the next point, and that process will continue indefinitely on this transformation journey. So you will consistently have to face this again and again and again. Successful people are still facing these same patterns and then continuing to reprogram them every time they reach a new level. That saying, new levels bring new devils again, right? But remember what I talked about before about double negatives. The subconscious mind and the universe for that matter, does not recognize negation. So if you're focusing on danger in this journey of transformation, or you're focusing on avoiding danger in this journey of transformation, from an energetic viewpoint, you are on the same frequency of danger. If you're focusing on danger, or you're focusing on how to avoid danger, they are one and the same, and you attract more danger because you have then become an energetic match to that which you focus on. You, in either of these circumstances, are giving your attention to danger. So, what does this tell you? In order to change how to deal with fear, you have to change the story around fear. Bottom line, non negotiable. When we have the thought of changing our lifestyle, changing our habits, taking a financial risk, moving to a new city or a new country or a new state, starting a new relationship, leaving a draining job, or starting a new one, all of these send the adrenaline levels skyrocketing through our body. Ironically, all of this takes place before we actually take the action. While we are what? Again, just thinking about it. I'm saying all of this again and again and again just to show you the power of your thought. So here's the first thing I want you to write down today and highlight. Just because I am afraid does not mean I am in real danger. Just because I am afraid does not mean I am in real danger. I want you to literally write that down on a note card and keep it with you. Like, refer back to this anytime stuff pops up in life. Because most of the time, being afraid does not actually mean we are in danger. It simply just means you are approaching something new, which, look at it this way, can potentially bring you great things in life. You just have to choose to see it that way. For me, and hopefully soon for you too, you can begin to use your fear as a signal that you are on the right track. Whenever you start feeling that familiar sense of being uncomfortable while being on this transformational journey, that means you are close to change, that you are actually doing and becoming the change. When you look at it this way, fear will actually become a sign of clarity. The initial purpose of fear was to save our lives all that time ago. But the newfound purpose of fear is now to change our lives. The people you look up to, they absolutely felt and feel fear on their journey. They always will, because guess what? They have an amygdala too. But they choose to face their fears and eat that shit for breakfast. They choose to let fear be their fuel. But know they started in the same shoes as you and continue to start in those same shoes as well anytime they start something new, anytime they reach a new level. They just continually choose to make the choice to do the scary thing anyhow, time and time again. If you think this courage is something only few have, I need you to know that it is in all of us. It gets found inside of us along the way. It is nearly non existent in the beginning, in the thinking phase, but through the process of taking aligned, inspired action in the face of fear, that courage shows up. Many people think that if they wait, the courage will just show up. But truthfully, it takes starting the journey and making the jump before the courage is ever curated in the friggin' first place. While you're still feeling the fear and you're taking that action, that's true courage. This, right now, this is your sign to start and gain your superwoman or superman strength on the way. Feel the fear. Fly. Have the faith that it will sort itself out on the way down. Have the mentality that even if it's the last thing that I do, I will make it happen no matter what. I need you to know that you are far more capable, more intelligent, and more powerful than you have ever imagined. But I promise you that you will only learn that once you try to find out. Take action, because waiting for the perfect moment to do the transformation you desire in your life will get you nowhere. There is no quote unquote perfect moment. There is not. Sorry to burst your bubble. If you're waiting for the money to come first to start investing, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, start investing in yourself with what you have now, today. If you're waiting for the bikini to fit before you've gone to the gym and eaten healthy consistently, you're going to be mighty disappointed. If you're waiting to find your dream partner, but then not putting yourself out there and all of your conversations consist of there's no good ones out there, yet you're somehow magically expecting them to show up knocking on your doorstep for you, it's not going to turn out that way for you. If you're waiting for the day you're brave enough to take the first step, it will never come. It just will not come. Bravery will not come before you start. It will come after you've started moving towards the thing you wanted to become a reality. Know that there is no fear-free transformation. All right, so let's look at one more part of our fear stories. The thought that says, if anything bad can happen, then certainly the worst will. Let's take entrepreneurship, for example. People who are they know that there's this thing on their heart that they want to do, and they're like, I want to start the business, but, and then the story starts unfolding. This is the story. If I try to start a business, then I have to spend all of my savings, and what if I fail? Then I won't have any money for my bills. And then I won't be able to put food on the table. And then I could go bankrupt. And then I would have my car repossessed. Oh my God. And then I'd lose my home. Holy shit. Then I'm going to end up homeless. Then my partner is definitely going to leave me and I will end up dying miserable and alone. Like, wow, what a freaking story. Our minds literally create our own drama series in our brains on the daily. The rational mind would say, whoa, that's a little excessive there, buddy. Nonetheless, we do it all the time. You can't tell me that you've never had a thought like that, and likely know others who have too. Our subconscious mind loves to tell us this rather unlikely, very distant, literal worst case scenario. It's almost a certainty to happen for you. Just because, sure, it could be a possibility, it probably happened out there somewhere. But most of our fear stories are highly disproportional from the fear stories with the actual possibilities of abundance available all around us in reality. Quite frankly, the risk story goes far beyond the common sense most of the time. This is not going to happen in 99.99999% of cases. These scenarios are just the product of our minds being programmed subconsciously to race down these one-way streets of negative possibilities. The good thing, though, is that our mind can also be reprogrammed to be positive and go down the other street of, I could be successful. I could make it happen. I am worthy. I am loved. I am taking the steps in the right direction that I need to, right? We're reprogramming. This is what this is all about. So, what do you need to do? I need you to remember that fear never really goes away. So, step one, accept that. It's just part of being human. Embrace your fears and focus on rewriting your fear story. Okay, so these are the steps to develop fear facing habits. First, face your fear of fear. Every time you are starting to feel and identify these thoughts or physical emotions in your body or mind beginning to sabotage you based on these fears, stop what you're doing and do this instead. Take notes. Write this down. This is where I want you to pause and take notes. First, stop and take a few deep breaths. Allow your body a few moments or minutes, if it's possible, to first pass the initial impulse of fight or flight reaction. Remember, this response happens faster than the thought even appears. But by giving yourself a few moments and taking some deep mindful breaths, you can give your rational brain a moment to catch up and then create a conscious, rational response. We want to replace that instinctive reaction with a rational response to take back control of your mind and body. Then, once your rationale kicks back in, allow your intellect to tell you that fear is normal. Remember, its existence does not mean a threat is imminent. Remember that you made a decision to make a change. You made a choice to go through a transformation. Therefore, this fear is merely just a response to something new, and take it as a sign that something better is coming in your life. Coming back again to your breaths, allow your body to continue to relax even deeper and deeper and deeper and leave that fight or flight state behind you. Then ask yourself these questions. What do I really want? And then ask yourself, will you really allow this fear to stop you from what you really desire? Will you allow this normal human impulse to stop you, a rational human being with choices from moving towards growing and learning and living to your full potential and reaching your goals? Because this choice is fully up to you. I want you to know this is all about taking your power back. This exercise is very powerful because you're working on turning a largely subconscious program, which is the fear response, into your conscious choice. Feel the power in this. When you begin to consciously think of your choices and facing your fears, you are open to making quantum leaps in your transformation. You understand that you are unable to remove fear altogether, but now you're able to act in the face of it. What happens every time that we act in this way is that we learn something new about ourselves and about our view of the world. We learn that we have immense power in our subconscious. Here's the truth. On your journey, depending on your goals, you may be turned down by a business investor. You may be rejected by multiple romantic interests. You may be turned down by a book publisher. You may be fired by a client or an employer. It happens to everyone at some point or another. We've all been said no to. But if you consciously acknowledge what you are facing and acknowledge your own strength, you will move forward past these things. Here's the truth. All successful people have been rejected, not once, not twice, but dozens, hundreds, thousands of times. So why would you let it stop you? Don't. So here's today's task. With all of this being said, today's task is challenging. Take small actions that make you very uncomfortable, even just thinking of them. I've attached a list of things you can do to help you face your fear. Choose one, choose two, choose three, or even all of them if you dare. And know that this list is open. You can add what you'd like. If there's something that you know you need to do, then do it. If there's something that while you were listening to me, you're like, the thought popped in, you started sweating, you were panicking, like, oh shit, I really need to do that, but I'm friggin' terrified, do it. The goal is to start doing things outside of your comfort zone because true growth is outside of your comfort zone. So write down the fears that you choose to face today. Write down your thoughts about it. Write down your reaction to it. And then once you've done it, write down how good you felt after you've actually faced it. Empowered, whatever you felt, write it down and come back to this practice again and again and again as you continue to up-level on this journey of transformation. Okay, y'all, I will see you on day 12. Good luck facing your fears. You've got this. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.